Welcome to my channel. If you're watching, but soon you're not going to watch me because I'm going to be banned from the internet for good for my beliefs. And still, I don't care. I drink on live. I mean, on tape, so don't care. If you get offended, so be it. It happens. So, we have a situation on our hands. 2019. Canada, this country right here. The government wants to bypass a law that is called, what is called, the Digital Charter of Rights. That is going to censor everything that is not SJW, politically correctness, Marxism, feminism, narrative in this world. I mean, here. Now, this Digital Charter of Rights is going to basically labelize everything that is not the narrative as hate speech. So that means if you have a opposing thought pattern or a opposing mentality, you're going to be banned from the internet in Canada. And if this happens, then Canada will turn into a Orwellian 1984 dictatorship. Okay? And because of this, you're not going to have a freedom of speech and freedom of thinking in this country. Well, apparently, in 1930s Germany, when Hitler started to use the radio as its own controlled broadcasting system for its own source of information, because back then their source of information was the radio. So Hitler brainwashed the entire multi-generational society that Jews are bad and stuff like that. But this was in past. Now, coming to the present day, our only source of information is the media and the internet. With this Digital Charter of Rights, the internet will be controlled. So that means your only source of information will be controlled, like television and radio. So that means if they control the internet, then they control your thoughts. And if they control your thoughts, you're under a mental slavery. Digital Charter of Rights. So, be prepared if you have a different ideology to be banned from the internet in Canada. And sadly, this is what's going on. So, okay. So, yeah. This is what's happening in Canada. If they start controlling your speech on the internet, then they start controlling your thoughts. And the similarities in terms of the 30s is that in the 30s, the radio was controlled by that Nazi regime in Germany. And here, they are going to start controlling the information on the internet. This is how your mental image will look like. Yes, master. Because you do not have original thought. So yeah, Canada will turn into a Orwellian dictatorship, but in this dictatorship, you're controlled through the source of information, the only source of information, what they approve of. So, that's how it will look like going on forward. If you start controlling the source of information, you start controlling the mass population. If it's not SJW and the narrative, SJW, Marxism, feminism, politically correctness, if it's not that, then they're going to consider it hate speech. And under this law, they are going to ban you. Here. Okay? So, this is what's going on. And yet, this narrative preaches diversity. But when it comes to diversity of thought, and you think like this, not like this, then you're going to be called, how do you call it, racist, Nazi, bigot, homophobe, Islamophobe, anything under the sun and the moon. So basically, you contradict yourselves. Yeah, so this censorship thing is going to increase It will be worse than the China's firewall. Okay? It will be worse than that. It will be inclusive towards the narrative, but if you think outside of the box, or you think differently, then they are going to ban you from the internet. Permaban. So that means you're not going to basically be on the internet because they ban you through the IP address. So this is how I see it. This is what I see with my own two eyes. And this digital charter of rights is going to censor everything that is not the narrative. SGW, politically correctness, feminism, Marxism, globalism, communism, socialism. If that's going to be on the majority of the internet in this country, and opposing sides will be eliminated from the internet. So that means you're going to be force-fed this narrative. But when you think differently, you can't really express yourself on the internet. So, yeah. It will become a 1984 Orwellian dictatorship, where the only source of information is the narrative itself. No diversity in thought. And this is how they contradict themselves. Or you contradict yourself. You preach diversity. But when it comes to diversity of thought, then you call them racist, bigot, Nazi, xenophobe, homophobe, fucking Islamophobe. That is not diversity, what you preach. You preach diversity, then let there be diversity of thought as well. Because you say diversity is our strength. But yes, with diversity, there comes diversity of thought. And yet so you call them all these names. And this, my friend, is a big contradiction that you make. If there is diversity, there should be diversity of thought patterns, ideologies. Go ahead, think how you want to think. Not the narrative that you want to push. So yeah, you say diversity is a strength, then let there be diversity. True 100%, 110% diversity. So that means you're this, you're that. Diversity is our strength. Okay? Yeah. but you contradict yourselves. And apparently, I'm living in a society that wants to jump off a cliff by bypassing a law that will censor everything that is not SJW and political correctness and the narrative itself. So that means we're going to go back to the 1930s, where Hitler started controlling the internet. I mean, their internet. Back then, the radio was the internet of that age, of that era. Okay? They had the radio. Hitler started to control the radio. And then only one narrative was on the radio. How did it end up? 100 million people dead in war, famine, Holocaust. Yeah. Okay? If you start controlling the narrative and start controlling the internet, then you're no different and sadly this is what's going on in this country right here, in my homeland. So yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting to see this happening in front of my eyes. So I just wanted to create a video about it. And I'm asking you leftists and feminists and Marxists and how do you call it? When you preach diversity is our strength, then there should be diversity is our strength in terms of thought as well, thought patterns. So what you believe in that, so what you believe in that, I don't care. Why do you preach diversity as our strength if we cannot express ourselves and condemn it hate speech? That what condemn hate speech what is not the narrative itself. But yet you spew and you preach diversity as our strength. But how? If you don't let the other person think this way or think that way, go ahead. It won't affect me. So yeah, you contradict yourselves. You do. Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help. So yeah, apparently this is what I'm facing in this country. If this channel gets banned, this is why. Okay? So yeah, they're going to start controlling the source of information, and then once you control the source of information, you control the mass population. Digital Charter of Rights. So yeah. It's no different than me reading history books about Nazi Germany and how they controlled the radio, the only source of information, then controlling their own population by spewing their narrative. You're no different. Yeah, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. Talking to yous, motherfucker. Your ideology is no different than that ideology. You both want to control an entire population and yet preach diversity is our strength. You know? That's what's going on. So yeah. Oh well. Humans to be stupid. Where's my scissors? You know. Yeah, that's very dangerous for our society. It's very dangerous for our society if they decide to basically control the source of information. Because they're going to start controlling your thought patterns by spewing only one source of information, the narrative. So yeah. Okay. You know, humans to be stupid. I can't I can't say that, hey, it happens, It actually happens. History always repeats itself. So, if I get banned from the internet, that's why. And no hard feelings, no hard feelings, but that's how it turns out to be. Yeah. That's the age what I'm living in. I can't control my path, my surroundings. So yeah. You guys are going to be controlled because they're going to basically ban with this law. They can ban everything that they say it's hate speech and not the narrative itself. So that means it will turn Canada into a 1984 Orwellian dictatorship. Yeah. I'm just going to film everything that is going on in society. It is sad to live in a society like this, but I can't control my surroundings. I can't control, and I don't want to. So yeah, it's the type of environment I'm living in. Hmm. Oh well. Because when you say diversity is our strength, yeah, sure it is. And you contradict yourselves all the time. You know? So yeah. Oh well. I was born into this society. I can't do anything about it. And we are the forgotten Canadians. The government forgot about us. And they even demonized the straight white man. And it's very difficult for me to get a job because, oh, straight white man bad, straight white man this, straight white man that. It's very difficult to get a job in this country because businesses are set up as they want to increase their profits. And if the mass population, the mass consumer says that straight white men are bad, then they are going to hire less straight white men because they don't want feminists with picket signs in front of their buildings. So I can't really get a job in this country. But this is how the thing works. Business works. You want to maximize your profits, so you listen to the consumer. And if the consumer is a radical feminist, then you are not going to hire this type of people who look like this. So this is what's going on in Canada. We're living in a, how do you call it, fucking Babylon. Drink your tap waters, guys and girls. Drink your fucking tap water. Yeah, that was my rant. Yeah, so today day and age is day and age is the internet. Yesterday was the television. The day before, I mean, the day before yesterday 3 days ago was the radio. So 3 days ago, it was the radio that was the only source of information. Yesterday was the television. And today is the internet. What is actually the only source of information combined with the two. Okay? If they are pushing the narrative on radio and the television, that's why you see always feminist in superhero movies. That's the television. That's yesterday's technological thing, and today's is the internet. If they start to control the internet, they're going to start controlling an entire population. What to think, what to say, how to say it, you know. So this is part of the narrative to control you. Go ahead, be controlled. I don't care. I'm just warning you. This is how this path will lead you to. We already read history, right? Do you study history anytime soon? Read a history book about the Second World War? Yeah, they started controlling the only source of information, the radio. Then they started to control the television. Now they are going to control the internet. So that means there will be no opposing thoughts, no diversity of thought, but only one narrative. Is what we call a 1984 Orwellian dictatorship, where there is only one type of narrative or thought pattern. So you're going to be controlled if you read and believe and watch the internet. So when they ban me off the internet, I am never going to go back to computers anymore. I will have a home phone. Okay? I am going to be basically so free that I'm going to have a answering machine with that home phone. So you, with your technology, you cannot track where I am walking. So you want censorship? I'll give you censorship. I will give you censorship. I'm going to be so censored that there will be no telephone in my pocket, because I already know that Google Maps sees every single step that I do. I already know that Google Maps on my phone is always hooked up. So I am going to be so censored. I am not going to have a cell phone in my pocket. If you want censorship, I am going to show you censorship. Okay? I will have a home phone and a answering machine. Answering machine. Home phone and an answering machine. If you don't like it, lick some salt, as the Hungarians say. Hungarians say, nyajál sót, kisfiam. Okay? I speak to you in English because this is an English-speaking country. Country where the Khan people. It's in the name. Khan. Tree. Country. Yeah? Khan. You fucking con artist. Here's another con artist. Another one. Trudeau con artist. This is a con artist. Every single fucking politician is a fucking con artist. That's why they call it the con tree. It's in the name. Szívesen. So, how can you contradict yourself by saying that diversity is our strength, but when it comes to your opposing ideology, then you call them bigots, racists, and you do every single thing on the book that you despise of. How? You contradict yourself with this. I'm sorry, but you preach what you preach, but you don't follow what you preach. That's the problem. You don't follow what you preach. If you preach diversity, then you will preach diversity. You will follow diversity in every single aspects of it. So that means you respect all diversity, yeah? Diverse thoughts, thought patterns. That's your problem. You don't follow what you preach. You preach diversity, but when it comes to diversity in thought pattern, then you call it racist, neo-Nazi, skinhead, fucking bigot, xenophobe, homophobe. Islamophobe, and everything under the sun and the moon. You don't follow what you preach. If you preach diversity, you should be preaching diversity of thought. Honk honk. If you say diversity is a strength, then diversity of thought is a strength as well. If you understand what I'm talking about. And you don't follow what you preach. Motherfucker. You contradict yourself. Always. Be your own thinker. Be your own thinker. And go your own way in terms of thought. Go your own way. Respect that person, no problem about our differences of thought patterns. Go your own way. Here. We are all different, so diversity of thought. No more name calling because he thinks that way. Because you contradict yourself. You want diversity? I give it to you.